It has been 6 incredible months working with and being a part of Alton. You have challenged our assumptions as to where Main Street actually exists. This is a special, special place, and we learned so much from you.
My hope is that we can discover to use the spiritual energy that we call love to move us out of the stone ages of darkness called hatred, jealousy, and bigotry, and move us into a new age called kindness, acceptance, and tolerance without any judgment. Thank you, Alton. I love you.
Alton's closing ceremony was one of the proudest moments the small business revolution has ever had. But it was just a moment. Lasting change doesn't usually look or feel so inspiring. It's slow and hard and in the trenches. As I drive into town, Alton's putting up levees, bracing for its 3rd flood in the last 2 years. Which, if anything, is a reminder that we usually have less control over how things change than we think we do. But this town has a strong backbone and a willingness to evolve. So now that the real, unglamorous work has begun, I'm excited to see what they've built.
Small towns across the country are fighting for their survival with the odds stacked against them. But what happens if we join that fight? If we dedicate a little money, a lot of experience, and thousands of hours of work into one small town, focusing on the businesses that are the heart of their Main Street. What started as an idea became a national movement with over 30,000 towns nominated for the $500,000 makeover and more than 1 million votes cast for the winner.
Good evening, Alton, Illinois. How is everybody tonight?
Now, in our 3rd season, the team is taking on its biggest challenge ever. The town is 3 times bigger than any we've helped before, and the hurdles Alton faces will put to the test the very idea of Main Street America. So, Amanda Brinkman and her team of marketing experts at Deluxe are going to work for the people of Alton, Illinois. And they're not alone. New Season 3 co-host Ty Pennington will be working with the team to rehabilitate the town's buildings, while a whole cast of experts helps rehabilitate its businesses. Every episode, we'll be working with a new small business to see if we can change the odds, if together we can start a revolution.
I'm starting this return trip by visiting the 6 businesses we featured in Season 3. These entrepreneurs went through building redesigns, brand and website overhauls, even rethinking accounting and operations, in hopes of both strengthening their business and serving as an example for others. My first stop is Morrison's, a place that, when we first got to town, was on the verge of closing its doors. The pub was a beloved town gathering spot, but they'd struggled with pricing, inconsistent traffic, and most of all, floods. They had spent the last week loading equipment out of their kitchen as the Mississippi steadily rose. And with everything going on, I was worried I might not get to see them at all. But the weather broke just in time. And despite more rain on the horizon, these 3 women showed me what resilience truly looks like. So, tell me how business has been. I know the Deluxe team was super focused on getting more traffic during weekdays and at lunch.
Much better, much better. The Pick 2 has been a huge success. We get a ton of that sold through the week, and the weekdays are better. And we haven't had to rescue at all. Even when we had to close for a week with the flood.
You haven't had to put your own personal money back into the business like you were doing for the first 3 years of the business. Yeah.
And so it's a huge relief.
So I know you just recently had a flood, and there's another one coming in a few days. That has got to feel very frustrating. You can't help this happening, and
you can't.
I'm just so sorry.
It's not just the business hit, but we feel so strongly for our employees. It is so tough on them. And thank God they stick with us, you know. And we're still here. We still even see new customers that didn't realize that we had all this whiskey, or they didn't realize we had food, or I saw you on TV, or, you know. There's still people now and then that just saw the show and come in and go, I know you. We consider a slow day now, and we have to remind ourselves that wasn't a slow day before. So things have dynamically definitely changed. We can't thank you guys enough. You were like a miracle walking into our lives.
Can I be a part of your family?
You already are a family. We don't give you up once you're in.
I'm heading across town to another business whose fate is tied closely to the river, Bluff City Outdoors. Competition from online retailers and big box outdoor stores had put Bluff City deep into the red. Mark and Felicia always planned to pass the business down to their daughter Whitney, but that dream was in danger, and we'd worked with them to increase margin and to find creative ways to get more people fishing and shopping on their stretch of the Mississippi.
Hey! Welcome back.
How's it going?
Amazing.
So much better. We were up 30% in April, 36% in March. If we can maintain that 30% trend through the good months, then we'll be, I think, actually make money this year.
It's still going good, even though we don't have the river business like we wanted right now.
Yeah, right? There's flooding.
Yeah. Flooding.
So that really
So it'd be a
affects
lot
us.
better.
Some of the advice that you gave me last year, I really listened. We raised the lead prices 25%, so we still come in below everybody, but
Nobody's complained at all.
The small business revolution has just really helped us, so now we want to help just make the whole town look great.
Looking at the website did make it more real, giving us a story, and it kind of just was like, we've never had that before.
I've always felt like this place has had more potential. I've got complete and utter faith in this place, and it will make it.
Next on our tour is Shampooches, a dog grooming salon in the Upper Alton district of town.
Hey, Leanna. So good to be back. Welcome back. Everything still looks great.
Alicia has always loved her clients, both two-legged and four, but managing the business was draining the joy from her work. And those operational stresses weren't just affecting the bottom line. They were keeping Alicia from spending time with her daughters.
Let's talk about business, like how are sales?
I've got like 2.5 times as many clients than I had 18 months ago. It has not stalled out, not even a little.
This is great, that's good.
It's so great, yeah. When Deluxe first showed up, I was getting by. And now, I mean, my sales have jumped at least 3 times. We've hired another employee, and I'm looking to hire another groomer. And I use a payroll service provided by Deluxe, and that's helped astronomically. I know what the salon has to do in order for me to make my salary and still have the business making money. I feel like a business owner.
Let's talk a little bit about work-life balance. So that was something that we spent a lot of time.
It's so good.
Yeah?
It's so much better. It's been my favorite part. I mean, I'm thankful for the revenue growth and the client growth. I'm thankful for it all, but definitely for learning how to balance and not be, I guess, overwhelmed.
Well, thank you for not only letting us tell your story, but thank you for inspiring so many other working moms. You seem lighter and more at peace, and it's so rewarding to
Definitely
see.
less stress, you can tell.
It's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's so great to know that these businesses are seeing real growth. But for the revolution to truly be a success, we need to see that impact ripple out into the entire community.
The small business revolution has just been like an incredible accelerator. I can't explain. It's like we just took off. It's like hit the button and off we went.
Well, I mean, gosh, the national media attention that we got alone, it just made everything snowball. I mean, now we've been mentioned in Forbes and Cosmopolitan and AARP. I mean, we're making all these great lists. That is a big indicator that, you know, you've really turned the corner.
We've seen a lot more investment going on in Alton.
So the downtown area, if you go farther down, that area is almost full now. Basically, this whole corner has been sold. There isn't a block or a half a block that you won't drive from State Street for about 1.5 miles that there isn't a building been purchased.
Business owners are being more intentional with their relationships. They have been exposed to so many different people and so many different clients are coming in. Like, you see them begin to expand in who they are.
through the help of the small business revolution, we're all more receptive to new ideas or fresh ideas. We're all more responsive to each other's needs. And we all realize that we're all part of the same unit.
We're a community. We're not as divided. And I think that it's because of how well everyone came together when all this happened.
With Upper Alton, man, more people are starting to visit there. People are taking pride in that part of town.
It's really neat to see us find our way again in something great. God bless Deluxe, man, because what you guys have done in our community is just, you have turned and saved businesses and changed people's lives with what you do. It's incredible.
There's no question that the momentum has continued, but economic improvement wasn't the only goal. The more time we spent here, the more we learned that this town hasn't always felt like the cohesive place that its citizens wanted it to be. So for the second half of my tour, I'm visiting the 3 shops we worked with last season, who were located in parts of town that haven't always gotten enough attention, run by entrepreneurs who will play a vital role in defining Alton's future. And I couldn't be more excited for my first stop, Lovett's Soul Food.
Hey, Amanda, hey, welcome back to Lovett's.
How are you, Brant?
I'm doing great, how are you?
Good to see you. Oh, it still looks great here.
Yes, it does. We love it, we love it.
This family restaurant played a huge role in putting Upper Alton back on the map. But operational challenges, an old building, and inconsistent foot traffic had kept Brad and Mary from truly thriving.
First, I want to know, how is business?
Very good, very good. I know we rose at least 25 to 30% in our business. I think it was the curb appeal.
Yeah, I mean, all that branding that Deluxe did with you guys, the logo, I mean, even the name, I'm so excited for how all that turned out.
I mean, who wouldn't want to come in to see?
So you're able to not only bring home an income, but start to actually save as well.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot more relaxed, you know. It's a little more work, but, you know, it's a little more fun, too, so.
People were really moved by your episode. Your story really resonated with so many people.
We got to give Deluxe a shout out because, you know, you guys showed that real hard work pays off, you know, because we are a real started from the bottom story. Whatever we had to work with it and build it up, you know, and now people can see that, you know, Black people can come to Upper Alton, you know, and start a business, you know, which was kind of scary maybe 10 years ago, even thinking about it. Where we started was just kind of all over the place, you know, but where we are now is not selling plates out the garage no more. You know, we didn't came from there, you know? I'm trying to be big, not small.
On to the Arts District, where the talented, ambitious pair behind Lighthouse Sounds Recording Studio is trying to ensure that Alton's music scene is alive and well.
Hey.
Hey guys, how are you?
How are you?
Good to see you.
Great to see you.
This is unbelievable. Like, we're in your new space.
Messy.
When we first met Alex and Hart, they were in the middle of a big transition, just starting to refurbish a new studio by hand. But it was our on-steady partnership that had us more worried for the future of the business.
How are things going, like, in the world of partnership?
It's been a lot better than it was, for sure. Yeah, no, really. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The whole process lit a fire under our butts, so to speak, and really pushed us in the right direction. We're much better at kind of seeing things from each other's perspectives.
It's a whole now. The studio and anything that goes to it is for the studio. It's not mine, yours, that kind of thing. And, you know, we are a partnership.
So how has that gone with kind of still operating out of your current space and getting this prepared?
We're as busy over there as we've ever been, so that's great. Although there's a lot of like bands and artists in particular that are really excited to work in this space, so they're kind of holding off. Yeah. So that's great because then we're gonna have a bunch of, you know, really cool projects in the works as soon as we open the doors.
That website, I mean, it's wonderful now, but it's built for that new building. I mean, it's gonna be awesome once we get in there, just the way it was designed. You can tell somebody really put some thought and care into it.
You're doing a really great job. And plus, like, you said you were gonna move in June, but you didn't really say, like, June of what year.
Right, yeah,
right?
for sure.
So I feel like you've got a lot of room there to play.
Finally, I'm ending the tour in Central Alton with one of the most inspiring entrepreneurs we met during our time here, Benjamin Golly of Today's Beauty Supply.
Hi. Welcome back to Alton. Good to see you.
Today's wasn't a typical beauty supply store. It also provided a safe haven for kids after school in a neighborhood that had often gotten a bad rap around town. Through his business, Benjamin was working to change that perception, but competition in the area was putting pressure on the shop that so many called home.
Okay, so how is business?
Business is really amazing. We've seen an uptick. When we see new faces come into the store, one of the first questions we ask them is, how did you find us? And 95% of the time is they like the webpage and it looked really nice and classy.
We didn't need to invent the customer service and the way you make people feel. We just needed to draw people's attention to it.
We're still getting customers come in that haven't seen the remodel for a while. They're like, we just love being in here, it's nice. So it's causing the customers to continuously come back and to kind of make today's their destination.
We talked a lot about how there were 4 of these kind of beauty supply stores in Alton, and that this size community could probably sustain 3 of them. Are you one of the 3 that are going to sustain?
I feel very confident. I know that through the work that we do, that it makes a difference. Because of the interest of the show and all the publicity that we've gotten, people are changing those habits and actually thinking about where they're spending their dollars, that more is going into the community when I spend it in this location. So I think we'll be around a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, all right.
See, this is like
Thank
the
you.
perfect porch. Like just everyone's like, hey.
And I'm just excited about this evening with the block party being here in this community. I'm ecstatic. It's been a pleasure.
Choosing Central Avenue for the farewell event was no accident. We can't wait for more people to get to know this part of town and the businesses that operate on Central. But there's no rain contingency for a block party, so we're all hoping against hope for a few more hours of calm before the storm. While the neighborhood gets ready for the party, I wanted to gather one last time with all our town leaders and business owners to ask them a question, one that's been on my mind consistently for the last year.
There was obviously each of your individual stories throughout the season, but there was kind of this overarching story of Alton and some of the challenges around having some of those difficult conversations and the town feeling a little segregated at times. And I really applaud you guys for being brave about wanting to have those stories and allowing that to be featured. But how did you guys feel about kind of how that was portrayed?
The story was told in a way that I think caused people to maybe think, hopefully, on what can we do more than just be a business.
The undercurrents of our community, you could come in and see. We maybe didn't see it as residents and people who work and live here.
I was so focused on our pub that I wasn't looking across the way or in the next neighborhood, and watching the rest of the episodes, it kind of was like a little light that went off and was like, oh.
Ultimately, we all want the same things, to raise our families, to live a decent life. If we want that, we have to learn how to work through that discomfort, especially when you're the majority.
It's one thing to feel something in your heart, to feel like welcoming. It's another thing to proactively approach someone and be like, we really want you here. Please come down and be a part of this. I mean, that makes all the difference in the world when people are actively welcomed.
Just saying the table is open isn't quite enough anymore.
But it would never been open without you saying, no, really, tell us the truth, you know, and it, that felt good.
This guy sitting next to me, I had to thank him after I watched this episode for the things he's doing with the youth. I didn't know Ben was doing all this with those youth. I did not have a clue because he never bragged about it. He never talked about it, never mentioned it. He just do it. So once again, I want to thank you, Ben, for what you do for the community, my brother.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of looking in the mirror and saying, you know what? We're all struggling together, and that's what I really, really appreciate about all this.
You were able to bring that to light and really shape it in a way that when we watched all 8 episodes, we all had tears in our eyes.
I watched it like 1,000 times over, and every time I still cry to this day. My husband comes home and he's like, oh, you watched it again.
The eyelashes will come off. That's the only reason why I'm not crying.
I've got more.
Benjamin has more.
We're all struggling together. That's not just true of small towns or small businesses. That's life. The struggle is always easy to see. The together part is what we have to remember.
All right, should we go attend the block party? Yeah. Let's do it.
We're not there yet. You know, this town still has a lot of work, and not just this town, this country. It has a lot of work. I feel we're going in the right direction towards the destination of unity, but
It will take a continuous daily effort of these conversations staying on the table in order to get there.
Just look at what small businesses can do. They give us a place to gather, give us jobs, feed us, take care of our pets. They give us laughter and music and even confidence. Small businesses are so integral to our lives that they have the power to change the way we think about our own communities and each other.
America voted, and Season 4 sees the small business revolution Main Street take on Searcy, Arkansas.
Welcome to Searcy!
But a new town means unforeseen challenges.
It could be an example to other towns struggling with exactly this kind of a thing.
Marketing maven Amanda Brinkman is back at it with renovation icon Ty Pennington at her side as Deluxe and the Small Business Revolution team attempt to revitalize the town one small business at a time.
Small business owners gotta get paid.
Now streaming on Hulu, Prime Video, and smallbusinessrevolution.org.